what do you have towards this shift in the rules of engagement in terms of re-escalating the Israeli aggression?
Well, thank you, Mona, for having me, and it's good to be with your guests from Lebanon. Let me, of course, point out that, the policy of targeting civilians or being reckless about the death of civilians, whether in Lebanon or in Gaza, has been a constant Israeli policy over the past 2 years, if not more than the past 2 years. But, of course, it becomes more alarming when it happens after the ceasefire deal that was signed almost a year ago between Israel and Lebanon, after the Hezbollah escalated its attacks against Israel in solidarity with the Palestinians. And the problem, to be honest, Mona, is that the Israelis, through their behavior in southern Lebanon, are trying to set the tone of how the Israeli army is going to behave, not just on the Lebanese front, but on all other fronts, whether that it be Gaza, Yemen, Syria, or Iraq, or wherever the Israeli army believes that it's necessary to carry out attacks. But in the case of Lebanon in particular, I mean, people are taking this Israeli escalation as part of an attempt to put pressure on the Lebanese president and the Lebanese government to start diplomatic negotiations between the two sides, and perhaps achieving what U.S. President Donald Trump hopes to be another peace treaty between one key Arab country that's been always a frontline state with Israel and the Jewish state, which he would mark, of course, as a major victory for his policy in the Middle East. But the problem, as you know, is that the Lebanese society is very different from other Arab societies in terms of its diversity, and the fact that Hezbollah in Lebanon is not just a militia or a resistance group, but it's also a political party that represents a segment of the Lebanese population, and it will be difficult for the Lebanese government to carry out this task of disarming Hezbollah, as Israel and the United States are insisting, while the Israelis maintain this policy of bombing and intervention within Lebanon. So probably the Israelis and the Americans, we have to say that, are sending the Lebanese government a message that if they are not going to take the action they are requiring in order to disarm Hezbollah, Israel stands ready to start another escalation, while knowing at the same time that Hezbollah will think many times before carrying out any retaliation attacks, because they recognize, of course, that this would result in a massive Israeli invasion or attack against Lebanon, which the majority of the Lebanese people do not seem to support at this point. But this is obviously this daily escalation by the Israelis and killing innocent Lebanese civilians in the south is a determined plan to put pressure on the Lebanese president and Lebanese government to accept signing a peace treaty with Israel.